At one point, you were $30,000 in debt.
Yeah.
The ceiling literally came crashing down on you in Paris.
Yep.
You were going there to pursue these dreams of fashion, and you were teaching English 2 hours outside of Paris. I want you to talk about the grit, the determination, and the sacrifice that it takes to build a brand, because so many people look and they see glitz and glamour. They see 2 point whatever million followers that you have that are constantly growing.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, that should be easy. But you're like,
Oh no.
this has been a journey.
Yeah. So I quit real simple. I moved to Paris. Moving to Paris was one of my lifelong dreams. I knew maybe two people there. I had no money saved. I was in a lot of debt, but just decided that if I wanted to elevate in the fashion industry, then this was something that I had to do. And it was also like a life move.
Yeah.
It's something that I've always wanted to do. And I'm like, I'm in my 20s, now or never. This job is going nowhere. I keep getting overlooked for these positions. So let me try my hand and move to Paris. And I told myself, I was actually following in the footsteps of Andre Leon Talley, who at, I think around in his 20s, age 28, let's say, he was working in Paris. He was the bureau director for Women's Wear Daily. So I was like, okay, let me just follow in the steps of Andre Leon Talley. I'd written him so many letters. He never responded to me. So I was like, let me just follow in his footsteps. And so I went and I did interview at Women's Wear Daily. I interviewed at, I think, the International Herald Tribune. Didn't get anywhere. So I was teaching English and living in this really tiny apartment with a leaking ceiling. But what happened while I was in Paris was there was this huge scandal at Paris Vogue. There was a moment where everybody in fashion was doing blackface for some reason. I think they thought it was funny, or maybe now I'm starting to think, because it happens over and over again. I'm like, they're doing this for press, maybe. Like, I don't think anything is by mistake anymore.
Yeah,
People
no.
know better
Yeah.
by this time. But there was this huge scandal with Paris Vogue where they did blackface, and they painted this model, Lara Stone, in blackface. And it was on CNN. Everybody was in an uproar. And my friend was like, this is a good time for you to send your resume to Paris Vogue. They're in hot water. You can pitch yourself as this American with a background in African-American studies who could help them, figure things out so they don't do this again. And so I did write them a letter and an email, and I ended up getting an interview and eventually doing an internship at Paris Vogue, making 500 euros a month.
Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
Imagine that.
500 euro a
500
month.
euros a month.
Yeah.
Yes. And meanwhile, the apartment that I was staying in, the ceiling had fallen in, this leaking ceiling. One night I was up watching Judge Judy and snacking probably, and the ceiling just caved in and I didn't have anywhere to go. And so I did have this one friend, and she initially offered to have me sleep on her couch, but it was too busy, too much activity in the living room. She had 3 roommates. And so she said, I have this bathroom. It has a clawfoot tub and a sink. There was no toilet in there. But she was like, we can put, and it was like literally like a tiny bathroom, like, I don't know. It just very narrow. It literally just had a tub and a sink and like a little room to move around, but it had a door that closed.
Wow.
And so she had these slats and a twin size bed. And we put the slats on the bed and the twin size mattress on top of it. And we put the slats on the tub and then the mattress on top of it. We had some sheets and some pillows, and that's where I slept. And I don't know if I was at Paris Vogue. I think I was about to start, but I was freelancing for AOL Black Voices.
Ooh, we know that's old school. Come
That's
on,
old
AOL
school.
Black Voices.
Yeah. But I think when I was asking for invitations to shows at the time, they just saw AOL. So I got great invitations to shows, and I got invited to YSL, and I got invited to the Chanel show.
Yeah.
And so here I am sleeping on a tub and going to the Chanel show.
Yeah.
That's the last time I've been to the Chanel show. I want to go to a Chanel show now that I can, afford Chanel. But I think moments like that, I was encouraged by the Chanel show because I was looking in that room full of glamorous furs and glamorous people. And I was like, somebody in this room is making money from fashion. and I'm going to find out who they are, and I'm going to follow in their footsteps.
Yeah.
As we know, like one of the richest men in the world is Bernard Arnault, who's head of LVMH, Louis Vuitton, Moet Hennessy. So we know that there is money and luxury. And I was just committed to making it work. You know, if you love something, if you have a passion for something, you know, you can pursue a profit. It can sustain your life.
Yeah.
But I think I had to get out of my own way in a lot of ways.
How so?
At the time, let's say if I had $2,000, I would be like, oh, I can go shopping and spend $500 on some shoes. And then I'd be like, why don't I have money? I don't understand, you know? So I just had to figure things out when it came to finances. And it took a long time, and I'm still a work in progress, to be honest with you. I'm way better than I used to be.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need... Like, just like how I hire a makeup artist, sometimes you need a financial advisor. Sometimes you need a business partner where that is their strong suit, and they can help you to save and figure out these different things. But at the time, I just wasn't disciplined in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And I think doing what I'm doing has taught me discipline in so many ways. Like, one of your previous interviews, somebody mentioned they don't drink anymore. Like, I don't drink anymore because I realized that I'm so lethargic now, especially as you get older. I'm not clear-headed. I'm not operating at 100%. So how can I get out of my way so that I can pursue my dreams unencumbered or without as many stresses or without as much anxiety?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, there's a deep level of discipline that takes, you know, that you require to run this blog, because like you said in the beginning, you're on your way over here, you're trying to post the award shows, and you're trying to get all this up. Where do you think there's a disconnect in this new generation of people who are coming into the space with discipline?
I think that social media has enabled a lot of us to run our own businesses, which is beautiful. But I think for this next generation, I've seen a lack of the ability to serve.
Ooh.
Like, there's no attitude of servitude. Everybody wants to do it on their own. They think they know it all. And in some ways they do. Like, there are instances of younger people who are just taking off and doing things I have no idea how to do, like Kai Cenat, who I think is Haitian. I'll take credit for him. No, just kidding. But I'm like, who is Kai Cenat, and why is he at the NBA games and dressed in a suit? He's on something called Twitch. I don't know. Sorry.
My nephew just played in his little basketball association tournament.
Oh,
yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. That's not my generation, but you know, congratulations, Kai Cenat. But I think a lot of times what I'm seeing is that people think they can do it on their own without learning from somebody first and being able to help build somebody else's kingdom and empire before trying to build their own.
That's good.
And so I think that is what's missing. And I think in general, discipline is hard to have. Like, you know, the ability to update every single day. Like, we update every day.
Yeah.
We don't take days off.
No.
It's funny. Sometimes some of my assistants, they're like, I'm on vacation. I'm like, how do you have a vacation? And I don't have a vacation, which is probably good because they're probably just practicing self-care and I should do more of that. But I'm just like...
But yeah, I mean, that's a real thing because your business is to stay on top of what's hot. And in the internet, the world of the internet, I mean, that changes
every day
within the hour, you know, where something becomes a trending topic. And so if you're not there to cover it, we're like, oh, well, let me go to somebody who is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, I think that's really all that's missing. I think discipline is something that comes with age, you know, and learning yourself, learning your vices, learning, you know, just learning yourself and being willing to improve upon yourself.
Yeah. Hey, Vault family, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this clip, make sure to check out our full interview on our channel at Vault Empowers Talks. We don't just scratch the surface. We dive deep into the lives of some of the world's most influential leaders and change makers. Don't forget to like, to comment, and be sure to subscribe for more inspiring conversations. See you next time.